How you doing, guys? So this is Dr. Specific Chiropractic. I know it's been a long time since we've done one of these, but this is a very cool case. All right, so the history is this. There is a new patient a couple months ago. He was shoveling some snow, held onto his left hand, slipped, fell, dislocated his left shoulder complete out. He had to go to the hospital, and the medical doctors, they set it back in place, reduced it. So now, the other history during consultation, he also mentioned about he actually dislocated his right shoulder 3 to 4 times as well. So what is going on with his case over here? So this one I touch base on the X-ray analysis and the reason why he was such increased risk of getting all those problems. And it really came down to, you would think this, oh, this is to do with the shoulders or whatever it is. Nope. It's all because of that bone right there, the 4th lumbar vertebrae. So why is that a problem? See, if we do a plumb line, that means find out where the center of gravity is, okay? So we do a drop a plumb line from the 12th vertebrae, 12th dorsal vertebrae, straight down over here. It's supposed to line up here, but it's way back here, okay? So that means, and when I trace it down, it's this fella right here. Okay, it's wedged open like this way. So in this 4th lumbar vertebrae, because it's leaning backwards like this way, I don't think anyone can walk this way, right? So why is this a problem? It's because when we take a look at our shoulders on the sideways, we see over here, okay, it's not a problem. And also, look how much I can extend backwards over here. I can extend back quite a bit. But if you're extended very inferiorwards like this, and we can't walk this way, our body gyroscope centers and levels his head, and I'm going to try to explain it 2-dimensional so it's making it easier to understand over here. But this is also what we see over here. His mid-back is hyperkyphotic. That means we're supposed to see like this, but no, he's arcing his back. Like one of those dowager humps like the grandpa's back, arcing it way too much. To compensate for it is going like this so much and going like this. Now take a look where his shoulders are, okay? The center of gravity is all over here. You know, his arm is dangling over here. So how much can you extend? You know, not as much. Whereas over here, see how much more I can extend this way? Right? So therefore, the mechanism is injured because he was still holding on to this. And he still had this spine like this. And when he slipped and fell, it doesn't take much. With this limited range of motion, boom. Of course, it's gonna dislocate the shoulder. Okay? That's why his left shoulder popped out the way it did. And also that's why he was predisposed to also knocking out the right shoulder as well. In addition to all that front, he also has that fifth cervical nerve. So why, and it's gapped open this way, that's why it was not having proper nerve function to the glenohumeral joint over here. And that's where I found it and addressed it and corrected on him. So basically what I do is I help address that 4th lumbar, get it from here and really try to raise it up as much as possible. And he was definitely a lot more upright. I have to address the other inferiorities on him to try to get from this shoulder over here to finally up to here. Now he can actually have proper extension range of motion. That means able to go backwards, full, complete. He had no problems going this way, no problem going abduction sideways over here. But his limitation, he can't do this, and he can't go backwards like this at all. So unfortunately, guys, you know, he was very shy. That's why, you know, he didn't want to be on video. It was a very cool video case. But I want to present to you guys in terms of the biomechanics. That's why it's so important to look at the whole entire picture. Even though the patient originally came for me just for this, the root cause of the problem is right down there. All right. So by addressing that and also addressing all the other ones, nope, his shoulder's doing much better. Right. So if you guys like this case, you know, go ahead, like, share the video, you know, let everyone know about it. Got any questions, you know, and anything more about this case, here, go ahead, leave a message below, or anything else you want to learn about, leave a message, you know, leave a comment below, and I'll get back to you. All right, take it easy, have a good one.